might be some, there might be some bits that you can take away and use going forward. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Right. Can everyone see my Canva? Okay. So, how to plan your social media? Let's go for it. So, just a little bit about us. We're a full-service marketing agency with extensive knowledge and experience across digital marketing, social media advertising, Google Ads, content writing, PR branding, design, web development, and SEO. Myself and Lucy are actually in the social media department, so we're probably the best people you guys can get for this type of presentation to do with social media. Yeah, as I was saying, my name is Marcus. I've worked with Social as the social media manager. I actually don't have a slide for Lucy, but I'll let her introduce herself anyway.
Yeah, I'm Lucy, head of social here. So we work together on lots of different projects, but we really support Woking and Woking businesses in workshops like this. So yeah, really happy to be doing this one.
Yes, let's go on. So introductions. A small business running your social media accounts can seem like a mammoth task, but by pre-planning and laying out some guidelines, you'll be able to get ahead and have content going out without even having to think about it. I'm going to take you through 5 tips that we use as an award-winning agency so that you can create a bustling social feed without the daily grind, which is how we operate. So what is a social media plan? Social media plans outline the goals and priorities for your business. Your goals will depend on what it is you want to achieve from social media. Is it raising brand awareness, gaining leads, community building, increasing website traffic, or perhaps it's all of the above? Ideally, your goals will dictate the content of your social media plan.
Yeah, when you're thinking about your goals for your social media, it also kind of aligns with your goals for your business. So if you're launching new products, if you're bringing out a new kind of community space that you want to be using, being able to associate your business goals with your social media goals will overall help your long-term plans. So that's why it's really important to think about what it is you want to achieve business-wise and use social media to get there.
So the next question that comes by is, why do you need a social media plan? So a social media plan can seem like, sorry, someone's just going to add, someone that's just asked to come in. So yes, as I say, why do you need a social media plan? A social media plan can seem like an extra bit of admin that you don't have time for, but there are many benefits. I know it can seem daunting having to go on your phone and take photos and posts about things happening in your shop or business at the time, but it really does pay off. So some of the points are: target your audience most effectively, spot any areas or missing information, brand consistency, and save time. So our 5 top tips are content pillars: schedule your content, note any national days, key dates, use bright and clear imagery, and decide your goals. And we're going to go into them a little bit more going forward. So content pillars, decide what you are happy to share about your business and create content pillars. Content pillars are basically the topics you'll be talking about on social media. For example, this could be your team, your product, services, and any industry news. Now, you might find when you sit back and create your content pillars that some do perform better on social media. For example, me and Lucy work in social media, we always find that like taking pictures of your team and like real life imagery over stock is 20 times better than using just any image you can find on the internet and sharing. So yeah, it's really important to align your content pillars with what it is you want to be promoting from your business.
Yeah, and we've kind of put some suggestions down here of how you can lay it out. So just grab some paper, do it on your laptop, however you work best, to line out your pillars of what you want to be talking about, and underneath those kind of bullet point a few ideas for posts, so that when you're then pre-planning and you're thinking about what you can put on social media, you've got this document that you can refer to for instant ideas. So for the team, If you've got any new staff members joining, you could do a post on them, what their hobbies are, their interests, what role they're doing, any events that you do as a team, behind the scenes, stuff like that, just giving a bit more of an insight into the personalities behind the brand. And in terms of kind of products, services, if you're launching new ones, how your product works, how people can purchase your service, book anything that they can, and then sharing reviews and testimonials. They are amazing bits of content for social media. They kind of builds trust, it builds loyalty, and it builds kind of the reasons why people use social media is to get that insight into your brand, your company. So being able to share other people's thoughts and not just your own will really kind of heighten that. And in terms of news, this one can be tricky of where to start, but you can have a look online if there's any articles that are going on. LinkedIn is quite a nice place, LinkedIn News, to have a look at and see if there's anything going on in your industry that perhaps you can comment on or talk about. And the kind of spin on that is being educational, sharing ideas with people. For example, if you're a baby sleep training company, which was someone we worked with recently, they were just sharing just that content. Whereas you need to think about your audience in terms of, if they have a young child who they're training to sleep, they'll likely be starting to look at weaning or activities to do with that child. So being able to share a wide variety of content on the same topic gives you more of an audience that would use you, and you can educate people and show that you really are experts in your field.
Yeah, so to sum up, basically, your social media account isn't just for selling your product. You're trying to build a community at the same time. So like Lucy said, if you're talking about topics that are related to the industry as well, it's going to do really well. So the next big one is schedule your content. So you thought of your content pillars and you have some posts written out and planned. Great stuff. Now it's time to use a scheduling software to get that content ready for the week, month ahead. This way you can get on with your daily routine and run your business with the relaxing thought that all of your social media is going out and you've not had anything to do. We'd recommend Hootsuite to do this, as there is a free version and it is easy to use. But there's a plethora of different scheduling tools you can use. You just have to go away and do a little bit of research yourself, see what fits well with what you're trying to get out of your social media. For example, we use another tool called Sprout Social, but that's, again, just another of many different tools.
Yeah, I think when you're scheduling your content, as you say, it can almost seem like it's a big thing to do and you've got to sit there and plan it all out. But ultimately having that kind of hour of sitting there and putting it all into the software, you can then walk away and you know that that content is going out and you're having that consistency through your feed without having to set alarms on your phone every day to do a post and having to think about it. It saves so much time and so much stress, and you can really think through your strategy and your goals to make sure you're hitting those by having that consistent schedule. So it's really, really useful to do that.
Actually, sorry, and another one, as I mentioned here, is you can get a free one using Facebook. So if you've got a Facebook page, it comes built in with its own scheduling tool. It's hidden amongst the settings somewhere, so you might have to do a little bit of fiddling, but it's there and it links to your Instagram as well. It's a really helpful one to use if you're just starting. So another one is note any national days, key dates. When you're planning your social media content, it's a good idea to look up any national, international dates that connect with your business. You could even do this a year in advance. For example, if you are a bar on National Cocktail Day, you can post your top 3 most popular drinks and pop a 10% discount on cocktails for that day. Another example could be for Valentine's Day. You could showcase any suitable products, run a promotion on menus or getaways. Now, when I say look for national days, there is a national day for everything. And I'm just going to pull this up. For example, there will be a national plastic bottle day. It just takes a very quick Google and I'm sure you'll be able to find one.
Yeah, and using the hashtags for those days is going to extend your reach and your exposure. So trying to get onto those trends and being able to use those hashtags, join those conversations, it's going to do really great things for your social media and getting you out to a new audience you might not have got out to before.
So onto imagery. So use bright and clear imagery. Social media is fast paced, so capturing a user's attention is vital. The best way to do this is to use bright, clear imagery on your feed. But don't worry, your phone camera will be good enough for this. Lots of people either think it and feel the need to hire a photographer to take professional shots, but it's not in budget and use your phone. There are some handy videos on YouTube to teach you how to use it and the different settings available to get the best pictures.
Yeah, we use our iPhones and stuff quite a lot, taking kind of client content. Our own content is basically all of our iPhones. There's all these new fancy settings now that on the new ones that you can use, but even simply just learning how to kind of adjust the brightness, adjust the focus and stuff like that is what's going to get you the best photos. There's a handy setting that you can add that it creates a grid on your screen when you're taking a photo, so you can make sure it's all centered correctly and everything like that. So don't feel overwhelmed with photography and feeling like, yeah, you've got to go out, you've got to hire a photographer, you've got to get this and that. Just taking behind the scenes snaps on your phone is absolutely good enough, and there's no need to overthink it all. I think people, especially nowadays, are really wanting to see that kind of realism in your feed instead of just consistent stock or professional imagery. So yeah, it's a really good time to be just using your phone and just get started with it. As soon as you start getting into a groove and you think, I'm going to take a picture of everything, you never know what's going to work and what you want to put on there. So just start getting into that routine. And yeah, iPhone absolutely fine for taking images for social.
Yep. And these quick images that you're taking doesn't necessarily mean you have to post it. There's also the option of putting it on stories as well. So it's only up for 24 hours. So something that you feel might not look good in your feed might be just as fine just on your story for the next couple of hours. Yeah. So just to get that message across to your clients. So another point is decide your goals. Coming back to our introduction where I mentioned goals, you need to decide what outcome you want for your social media. Do you want to build a community, sell products, or make people aware of you? If you want to sell products, ensure your pages are set up for that. Be clear about where people can purchase them, have accessible links for people to use, and explain the benefits. If you want to build your community, then be sure to get involved in conversations and comment on people's accounts. So a really successful page would probably look to maybe do all three of these. I know I can think of several examples of clients that we work with where we aim to use all three of these. So yeah, I would definitely try and do a sprinkle of each one into your plans going forward. So in conclusion, we're going to set out content pillars, create topics within those content pillars to refer back to, create a content plan for a week/month in advance, note any key dates, including national days, produce content for national days, learn how to use your phone camera, decide your goals, use a scheduling software, and engage with people.
Yeah, when you kind of do all of these things and it'll take a couple of months if you've not been running your social media, or if you've not even, it's not crossed your mind yet of how you're going to do it. It's just getting into that routine, and the more you do it, the more you learn. You can look at your competitors or people within the same industry as you, look at what they're doing well or what they're not doing not so well to help you with your content pillars. Talk to your customers. If you've got some customers that are quite regular, talk to them, see what it is that drew them into you in the first place, see what it is that they like about your brand. Have all of those conversations and feedback to then structure those content plans and your goals. So having this conclusion page, this will also be sent to you all, by the way, as well, of just referring back to it, of making sure that every month of completing these steps will really help with getting into the groove of getting your social media running.
And yeah, that is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for coming out today and watching and listening to me and Lucy. We really appreciate it. Is there any questions that anyone has that we can run through now? If there is, you can either say it or you can type it in the chat.
I think what would be great is if we maybe just ask each of the local businesses that's on the call what they currently do and what they really, why they attended today's session, and see how we can just, maybe specific issues that they would like to address in this
Of
call.
course. Yeah, absolutely. So who would like to go first?
I don't mind, I'll go first.
Hi, Joe.
Hello. Yes, I run a gardening business, and I've run it for about 4 years now. Not done a huge amount on social media. So I mean, I do the odd bit on Facebook, but
Yeah.
in a strange way, I almost don't want more business because I'm so busy. So I've sort of pegged back a bit on that. But I'm about to start up a new gardening company with a fellow gardener. So we want to be a bit more professional, a bit more proactive about how we reach out to people, really. So hence that's why I'm on this call. I don't really have any specific questions because it's all sort of fairly new to me, but I may have missed it at the beginning. Will the slide deck and the recording be sent round?
Yes, it will,
Excellent.
absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent.
My colleague Glenn will send it out next week. He's on holiday this week, but once you've sent it to us, Lucy and Marcus, then we can share it with everyone who booked.
Yes,
Great.
yeah. I mean, I think, Joe, there's kind of a lot that you can do within that industry, especially at the moment. Kind of a good time to be launching that would probably be around Valentine's Day. So you kind of got a nice point where you could to start some content there. Again, it's all about what it is you're ultimately trying to achieve. If you're not so much looking for new business, perhaps it is about building your brand and establishing yourselves and your business partner as these new owners and as this business. So putting things out there, why you started, your story, who you are, your personalities, all of that surrounds the back end of your business really is a really nice place to start to kind of establish who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, because we definitely want to generate more work, because the idea is that we step back a little bit from the actual physical boots on the ground work, and we have other people doing that. So that's, I mean, very basic kind of description of what we want to achieve. So that's why I think we do want a bit of a push on this, because it's a little bit of a different model, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say with your industry as well, it's a very community-driven industry. So I think it's really important to get those like business updates on your page, such as like meet the team posts like we've gone through on the slide. I think that will really do well with your audience. And speaking of audience, did you say you're on Facebook? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're on Facebook, because I feel like that's where your audience is. That's the platform you really want to be prioritizing your content on, rather than Instagram.
Okay, interesting. Why is that?
It's just to do with demographic. So you might find that the younger generation is more lent towards Instagram, whereas the generation that might be more interested in gardening will likely be on Facebook.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Just a couple of points from my side, Joe. I think as you go along now, it will be really good if you can take pictures of, the work that you're doing at the moment, so that you can maybe speak to your customers and use them as examples of what you've done. And then just mentioning Instagram, Marcus, what I think in one of the previous workshops we've done is it's more like the professionals who actually so your horticulturists, etc., who will be on Instagram. So if you could create an Instagram account if you don't have it, but it's more the professional people who will share knowledge on there, rather than people who would want a garden landscape. I think there's a difference between the two audiences.
So maybe Instagram would be more for our networking purposes for other professional gardeners and horticulturists, whereas Facebook is more our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's absolutely no harm in being on both platforms. It just means that you'll be attracting a different audience, which is never any harm, really, is it? It just means more people towards your business. But what I meant, sorry, was when it comes to like prioritizing messaging, as you say, your customers will be on Facebook, whereas probably your community might be more on Instagram.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, okay, that's great. Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
I know there's someone from Weybridge, one of the schools, on the call. Maybe they want to just, ask a couple of questions. how they would like to change their social media, or do they need, help changing it, or I think
Ladies just popped in the chat, no questions, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, so I work in the events department
okay.
school in Weybridge, and we've got a huge new facility that we've just built, and we're looking to start social media to tell people about it and tell them that we're going to hire it out for events. So obviously at the moment I'm finding it quite hard because we haven't had any big events, so there's no pictures, or so like starting it off is what we're struggling with, really.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And so is it just like a hall that you're offering?
So yeah, it's a hall, it's like a hospitality area, it's dance studios.
Yeah, okay. So for something like that, I probably, as much as sometimes we say try not to use too much text on your images, it might be worth just as starting, and as you say, as you start getting more events and stuff like that, to begin with like big graphics, like big slogans saying like to hire, get your key messaging on the image instead of in the caption, and then keeping the caption nice and short, as the main bulk of your info is going to be on the image itself. Do you use Canva at all?
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, Canva's a really good little website that you can do designs on, and it comes with like templates that you can use, and there's a whole range of different like infographics that you can pull out onto your own creative, and then just fill it in how you want. So the template might say like now open, but you can change that to hire or something else, but it just gives you like a really good like design that you can almost like steal, but it's free. So yeah, I'd highly recommend having a look on Canva. And we have done a workshop on Canva before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I think it's like Mark was saying, it's if you don't have the imagery, it's creating assets that are heavy on the text or element route, so kind of graphic elements relating to that topic. So you say it's a dance studio, so pull out kind of more kind of what are they called, like graphic element items, like animations and stuff to use in a creative that look like a dancer or something like that, so that you can very visually see what that post is about. You could even do kind of video tours. Again, you can do that on your iPhone to showcase the space, like film a little 20-second, 30-second reel and then in the caption you can explain like great for booking this, for dancing, for this, for that, and you can have that kind of pop up on the screen, so it still gives that interactive visual element without having to have people in it.
Thank you.
Just from my side, I'll find the Canva workshop recording, and then I can share that with you, Tallulah. And we've actually just launched a page of all the conference and meeting rooms within Woking. And that's quite a good starting point to just have a look at what other people's websites look like and what information that that you need to put on your website or page, or that you can use for your social media, because it is that diversity of type of events that you can host within that space. But also, I think in terms of just raising awareness about this new space that's at the school, and who they need to contact for booking, etc. So I think I just put that page together, and I was amazed at like amazing spaces at RHS Wisley, which is on our borders, etc. And people are always looking for new spaces to hire and put on events. And as Lucy said, whether that's from dance to yoga, etc. And at the moment, just use any image. But it is more about actually raising the awareness of this new facility, and the number of spaces. If you look at some of those ones on our website, it's about the layout of a room, how many people you can, all of that information would be helpful for you to start pulling your own information together.
Amazing, thank you very much.
No problem.
Can I ask just one more question? Sorry. What are your feelings on websites? Because at the moment, I personally don't have one, and neither does my friend you know, because we have our own businesses at the moment, and as I said, we're going to create this new business, but we don't have websites individually at the moment. How do you think it's worthwhile websites these days?
Yeah, definitely. And I
Okay.
think if you've got that website, it again kind of establishes the business. You can put all of the information that that customers are going to need on there. You can set up a Google My Business page, which will then make you more easily searchable on Google. I think having a website at the moment now is vital, really.
Yeah, one big issue that social media will always have is building that trust with the client. And sometimes just having a website almost shows like a legitimateness about that company. So yeah, I would also highly recommend.
Okay, all right, that's good.
And just from my side as well, you know, when we do look at the statistics on the social media, that has changed a lot and will change. It changes frequently how they, you know, how they collect the analytics of Facebook or Instagram, as Lucy and Marcus have helped me with. And I think, again, it is driving whoever sees your social media to your website, because there you can ask them to sign up for a newsletter, you can have your blog, you can have a page on the whole team, what people look like. And once people land on your page, you can then have a pop-up where they can sign up for the monthly newsletter where you share something, or there's so much more you can do. But it is vital nowadays to actually drive people to your website, even if it's a simple one to start off with just your team, you know, the pictures of the two of you, etc.
Yeah, okay, that's great, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
I think then, if nobody else has got any other questions, I think then that kind of brings us to an end. As we've said, this will be sent to you, the presentation will be sent over. It will also be going on the knowledge base as well, so you can refer back to it in years to come if you need to. But yeah, thank you very much for joining. If you have got any other questions, you can either email us. I think you've got Riette's email as well if you do need anything else. But yeah, thank you very much, and I hope you all have a brilliant rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thanks a lot, bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.